So fire is our biggest concern in any survivable airplane accident. As I mentioned, uncontained engine failures oftentimes rupture fuel lines that can lead to very intense fires. Aircraft skidding off a runway can have a ruptured fuel tank that can lead to a very intense fire. Aircraft are designed to fly better, faster, cheaper. Unfortunately, they don't hold up particularly well in an accident sequence. For that reason, there are two things we need to do in any accident situation. We need to protect passengers who are involved in an accident, and we need to evacuate people as quickly as possible. CAMI has a very long history of seat testing, and we have shown through our research through the years that seats needed to be improved from this. You can see these seats did not properly restrain the passengers on impact. Had some bending of the seats and some breakage. To this. These are seats that hold up particularly well in a test. They're 16G rated seats being subjected to a 16G load. And research at CAMI has led to a change in the regulations, so all new model aircraft now are required to have 16G seats. This is not to say that passengers wouldn't be injured in this kind of an impact, but they have a better chance of surviving and getting out of the aircraft because they were properly restrained. Flight attendants are taught to brief passengers on the brace for impact position. Brace for impact is a particularly effective technique during an impact sequence. The idea behind the brace for impact is to minimize what we call flail. You want to minimize the distance the passenger travels before they hit the seat in front of them. In this case, we had the dummy leaning up against the seat in front of him, and it minimizes the travel distance and the impact on the seat in front of him, consequently reducing the impact loads on the neck and the head. So, protecting people during the impact sequence is very important. The second thing we need to do is to get people off an airplane in a hurry. We have a research facility in New Jersey that has done a lot of research on fire blocking materials and cabin fires. What you're going to see here is a video clip of a cabin fire. It's particularly well narrated, so I'm just going to let the announcer explain what you're seeing.
This is a full-scale fire test filmed in real time. Gus Sarkos.
The right-hand side of the airplane, a fire is penetrating through an opening. It is a post-crash fuel fire. The main violation to the interior from the fire is from the intense radiant heat, and you can see the materials are beginning to burn. Smoke is coming off of the seats. Some of the seats across from the aisle are also beginning to decompose. It's very interesting that the combustion products have a tendency to accumulate up at the ceiling. This is what is called by some fire modelers and scientists the two-zone effect, where the combustion products are mainly concentrated in the ceiling level, and in the lower zone the environment is pretty near being clear air.
At 53 seconds, the burning materials have released intolerable levels of poisonous fumes and gases. Temperatures range from 90 degrees near the floor to more than 2,200 degrees near the ceiling. The fuselage has become a gas chamber. A real fire would be much worse. There would be hysterical people scrambling to get out, carry-on luggage burning and blocking the aisles, and a great rushing and churning of air as emergency doors are opened.
With time, the fire intensifies but remains by and large localized in the immediate area of the original insult.
90 seconds. Surprisingly, there is still enough oxygen left to breathe, but it is saturated with dangerously superheated gases. Any people still struggling to escape would just barely be able to see below the smoke.
However, later on, a phenomenon which is called flashover occurs. A very rapid and uncontrolled fire growth. As you can see, when this flashover phenomenon occurs, the entire cabin is blackened by smoke. And from our analysis of the products of combustion, we calculate that the survivability will be lost within a matter of seconds.
So as you can see in that well-narrated video clip, it's very important to get people out of an aircraft in a hurry because you just don't have that much time. The reason we have the 90-second rule, where manufacturers have to demonstrate that they can evacuate a fully loaded aircraft in 90 seconds using only half the available exits, is because of that very video clip that you saw. You just don't have much time if you have a very intense fuel-fed fire. So getting people off in a hurry is important. Flight attendants tell passengers that they need to go to their nearest exit during an evacuation. That's very true. Passengers should go to their nearest exit. The problem is that very possibly their nearest exit is not necessarily the easiest exit to use. On the 737, which is certainly one of the more popular aircraft in service today, 66 of the seats are closer to the overwing exit. Depending on the model of aircraft, there could be roughly 135 seats on the aircraft, so close to 50% of the seats are closest to the overwing exit, which is the smallest exit on the aircraft. Here's a little video clip of some research subjects at CAMI who are evacuating out a Type 3 overwing exit. They're actually doing a pretty good job here. They're going out single file, but as you can see, the size of the exit prevents people from getting out quickly. I'm not trying to diminish the importance of the overwing exit. It's a very, very strong exit with a solid frame around it. Because the exit is a plug-type door, it's always usable in an evacuation. The problem is, given its size, it's not exactly a high-volume exit. If you were to count the number of people that got out, you would have seen that 22 people got out of that exit in 40 seconds. And as I said, they were very cooperative and were coming out single file. If you had a situation where there possibly was smoke in the cabin, or you had some competition to get out the exit, you could see that this thing doesn't work particularly well. These are some research subjects we used in a study where we paid them more money if they got out faster than anybody else, and as you can see, it really shuts things down. So the point I want to make here is that given a choice between a floor-level exit and a closer overwing exit, it might be better to use the floor-level exit. Slides at the exits are required to handle 70 people per minute per lane. If you had a dual-lane slide there, that would be 140 people that could get out that exit in 1 minute, which is considerably more people than you could ever possibly get out of an overwing exit. So there are times when it's probably advantageous to divert people to an exit that's a little bit farther away because it's larger and easier to use.